What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, back again with yet another video here for you guys. So first things, actually let me just clear all of this because we're not going to be needing that. That's just for the intro. So first things first, obviously today we're going to be talking about holsters, and I do have something super special coming up for you guys at the end of this video. You guys are going to want to stick around for that because it is a big one, so stick around for that one. But anyway, let's jump into it. So today we're going to be talking over holsters, in particular these new yummy little things from WST. So as I said in previous videos, we are now the sole agents for WST in the country, and of course this is one of said results for that. So the reason why I want to talk about holsters is obviously nowadays, well, not necessarily just nowadays, but in sort of recent times, obviously guys are now starting to get the idea that pistols are a necessity when it comes to airsoft. It's one of those things you kind of just have to have one. If you go and play without one, you start to realize that it's one of those things that if you don't have it, you kind of do feel it, but you know, it's one of those things. So pistols are one of those things that every single one of us needs, and every single one of us needs to carry them. And obviously some of us have come to the realization, rather unfortunately, that canvas holsters aren't always the greatest way, and putting them in your pockets are definitely not the greatest way. You are going to lose something, if not the entire friggin' gun, so let's not do that. So now, first things first, I'm not hating on canvas holsters, not at all. They do have a time and place, absolutely. Certain guns out there, for some of you guys that like to run revolvers and things like that, I still don't know how you willingly choose to let yourself get outgunned like that. But anyway, canvas holsters will work for things like that. Bigger weapons like Desert Eagles, things like that, where you can't get specific, you know, sort of holsters like these for them in the country without spending an arm and a leg. Because obviously, you know, to start doing something like that, you need to then buy a real steel holster, and of course real steel holsters are not cheap. Like, they are insanely expensive for what they are, but of course they do need to hold a real firearm, so it does make sense. Airsoft holsters, not so much. But however, in recent times the canvas holsters have become kind of popular. I'm not sure if it's a cost-effective side of things or what the reasoning is, but I'm here to hopefully try and change you guys' mind, and hopefully try and get majority of you guys onto hard shell holsters, because these things are going to be a lifesaver in many different ways. Number one, you're probably not going to lose mags, because with a canvas holster, 9 times out of 10 when the gun goes in, or the frame of your gun goes in, for I say, 9 times out of 10 it will catch on here, your mag release, and it will release your mag, and of course you're not going to be any wiser. And since majority of the weight from an airsoft gun doesn't come from the magazine, of course, if that mag falls out while you're playing, chances are you're not going to notice it, and by the time it has fallen out and you've realized, it's long gone. So yeah, so like I said, I'm here to change your mind and hopefully get you onto hard shell holsters. So yes, look, they're not exactly the cheapest things. They are a little bit expensive, of course. As far as airsoft goes, yes, it's not exactly a nice amount of money that people want to spend, of course, because we're all on a budget. We're all trying to keep this as cost effective as possible, but nevertheless, it is going to be worth it. And of course, there's going to be a discount code for these. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it right down there right now, so you guys can have your 5% off on these holsters. Of course, just put in your discount code on your checkout, and of course you will get your 5% off. So these are the X300 universal holsters from WST. Now I know it is named the X300, much like the flashlight, and the reason for that is this particular model works because of the flashlight. So of course it is a universal, yes. As a matter of fact, that is pretty much, you know, a rather comprehensive list of everything that fits into it. Amongst other things, there are some guns on this list that we've managed to fit, and of course, you know, they're not listed, but it is a pretty substantial list. And obviously the only real difference comes in with these. So with each and every single X300 holster that you guys buy, you're going to get 3 of these shims. So obviously there's a medium, there's a large, and of course there is a small inside there. And obviously depending on the size, or depending on the gun that you're going to be using, it is going to take one of these 3 shims. But of course the holster itself is not attached to the gun. This particular holster has to work with an X300 flashlight. So if you are planning on getting an X300 to run on your secondary, or if you are one of those guys that runs a holster with a flashlight, wow, runs a pistol with a flashlight, then obviously an X300 will fit straight into here, and that is what it locks onto. So on the inside here, you'll see you do have your paddle right there, and of course that actuates that over there. Now that does not make contact with the gun itself. Like I said, it locks onto the flashlight. So these are only compatible if you're using the X300 flashlights. So It does have a time and place, yes, and because most of us think that the X300s are the best thing since sliced bread, most of us are running them anyway. So it's going to work perfectly fine. And of course, you are from the factory fitted with these QD mounts, and of course in black and tan. So if you are running one of these systems, if you've got one of these plates mounted onto your gear anywhere for whatever reason, obviously of course your holsters are just gonna clip straight into it and you can pretty much just do your thing. So awesome holsters, and of course they are fully adjustable. You can fiddle with it, you can change angles, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do and make this holster work for you. And of course it is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration, maybe not so much money. No, actually no, I lie. It is going to save you a lot of money in the long run, because if you had to take out, you know, the amount of money that some of us are spending on replacement mags because we keep losing the damn things, it's definitely going to save you money. So definitely worth looking at. And of course you guys are going to get 5% off on that. But now, just to add something a little bit special to this whole video now, they do have another version. Okay, so obviously this is it right here. Now I forget the exact series code that this is named as. It's a GB8. It depends on which one it is, but there are a couple of different ones. But when I can figure out how to get this right, oh my oath, it might as well be a Monday. Anyway, okay. So it is fitted with the same QD points. So of course, whether you go for the X300 or the GB style holster, you are still going to be fitted with these from the factory, which are fully adjustable. You can fiddle with your angles and all of that. It's brilliant. Oh, apologies for smacking the camera. Anyway, so the main difference comes in here, where, as you can see, it is not flashlight compatible. So obviously, like I said, some of us think that the X300s are the best things out, or at least most of us, but there are some guys out there that just prefer standard, old school, secondary. All there is to it, no extra attachments, no extra fittings, nothing fancy, does the job just fine. And of course then obviously you guys want a hard shell holster, and they, you know, with this you kind of have to have a flashlight. So there is your solution right there. So for this, you do not need a flashlight. Of course, this is also universal. It has the exact same list as this one does. So pretty much every model of weapon that fits into those will fit into these as well. The only difference is, again, of course, you do not need that flashlight because, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated, but at the same time kind of special, whatever gun it is that you are planning on fitting in there needs to have an accessory rail on the bottom, because in the kit you get these little locking plates right here. So this is what fits onto the bottom of your gun, and of course this will then slide into the holster and will then lock, which of course you release with that thumb press right there. So of course, yes, it's universal, but not quite, because obviously if you're running things like a Beretta, like the old school Berettas, the M92s for example, that don't have an accessory rail, yeah, it's probably not going to fit in there, in which case you're going to have to stick to things like the Emerson 579. However, there are other options coming out from WST in the near future, and of course we will be making videos on those, but for now, those are the two options that I'm offering you guys, and these things are incredible. So yes, they are hard shells, which means they're super nice and tough, which means if you do fall in it, it's not going to break, you're not going to lose mags, you're not going to lose a gun, your gun is going to be protected, as well as, you know, looking cool. And of course, who doesn't want to look tier 1 with a hard shell holster sticking off their side? So yeah, that being said guys, that's pretty much all I have to say, but go ahead and check out these holsters. These things will not disappoint you. They're fantastic. They're super popular here in Cape Town. We just waited a little bit long to do the video. We wanted to hype it up a little bit and get some feedback from guys who've actually used them. And since I don't actually play all that much anymore, I don't get the chance to use them, so I can't really say for myself, so I had to gauge from other guys. But nevertheless, we had to hype it up regardless, and of course this is the result. So go ahead, check them out, get yourself one, and of course use that discount code, and that's going to get you 5% off. Who doesn't love a little bit of discount? So that being said guys, stay tuned for the next video. Like I said, that one is going to be super special, and it's going to be coming out next week. That one's got a really nice sale for there. Well, it's got a really nice sale on that one for you guys out there. If you guys are considering adding a new gun to your list, or you're looking at buying your first gun, you're going to want to wait until that video comes out, because I guarantee it's going to blow a lot of people's minds. So just hold on for that one. So as per usual, stay tuned for that video next week, and as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, keep us going. And well, the one thing that I keep forgetting to mention in all my other videos is, as per usual guys, comments, criticisms, whatever it may be, it's always welcome. Leave it down there in the comments below. We will get to it. Help us build this channel into something a little bit more awesome, and let's make it great again. So that being said guys, as always, I'm Section. Stay classy, and above all, call your hits, and we'll see you guys in the next video.